The town of Elmridge was small, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone. Tucked away between foggy hills and thick woods, it had remained untouched by time for decades. But its calmness was deceiving. Deep beneath the surface of warm smiles and polite greetings lay a wound that had never healed, the unsolved murder of a teenage girl named Leela Hayes. Leela had been 17, bright and kind, with long dark hair and eyes that held dreams of leaving Elmridge for a bigger world. Her body was found one rainy night in the woods, throat slashed, eyes wide open, staring into the sky as if she was still waiting for someone to save her. Her killer was never found, and whispers of her ghost roaming the woods became a cautionary tale to frighten curious children. 20 years had passed. Mia Carson was 22, a university student returning home to Elmridge for the summer. Her family still lived in the same house, just a few streets away from where Leela once lived. Mia had heard the stories growing up, even dared her friends once to sneak into the woods. She'd always laughed it off. Ghosts weren't real. Until the dreams began. It started the first night she returned. She dreamt of standing in the woods barefoot, the moonlight dripping between the trees, casting silver shadows. A figure stood ahead, a girl in a torn white dress, her hair matted with blood, her mouth opening, but no sound escaping. Each time Mia stepped closer, the girl turned her head slowly, revealing a face that looked exactly like her own. Mia would wake in a cold sweat, heart pounding. Each night the dream grew clearer, more vivid, more real. The girl's face grew more familiar, until Mia felt as if she were watching herself die over and over again. Her mother dismissed it as stress. "You've been studying too hard, that's all," she said over breakfast, pouring coffee with shaking hands. But her mother's eyes darted to the window, toward the woods. Her father said nothing, just sipped his coffee with lips pressed tight. On the fourth night, Mia didn't wake up from the dream. She was in the woods, or so she believed. The leaves crunched under her feet, her breath fogged in the air, and this time, she heard the girl speak. "Help me." The voice was raspy, as if dragged through dirt. Mia tried to speak, but her mouth was heavy, as if filled with sand. The girl stepped closer. Her eyes were not just familiar, they were identical. Then the girl raised her arm, pointed to the darkness between two trees. "He's still here." Mia jerked awake, gasping, her neck damp with sweat. Her bedroom window was open, though she was certain she had closed it. The smell of wet leaves clung to the room. Her phone buzzed beside her, 3:33 a.m. She couldn't go back to sleep. The next day she wandered the town, seeking answers. Most people brushed her off, some turned away. Only one person spoke to her, Mr. Acker, the old librarian. His hands trembled as he handed her a box of newspaper clippings, yellowed and fragile. "You look just like her," he whispered. "You should leave." The articles detailed Lila's murder, the time, the place, the horror. But one piece stood out. It described a local man, Thomas Whitaker, who had been questioned and released. He'd been seen near the woods the night Leela disappeared, but had an alibi, his wife. Thomas and his wife had died in a house fire 2 years later. Some called it divine justice. Others weren't so sure. Mia visited the spot where the fire had occurred. The ruins of the house still stood, blackened timbers and scorched brick. The air felt colder there, as if the world itself had held its breath. That night, the dream changed. This time, she was inside the burning house. Flames licked the walls. She saw the girl again, standing beside a crib. The baby inside was crying, screaming. The girl reached for the child, but fire erupted between them. She turned to Mia, "Save her." Mia woke screaming. Her parents burst into the room for the first time. Her father spoke about Leela. She was your cousin, he said quietly, your aunt's daughter. We never told you. After she died, your aunt disappeared. Left the baby behind. We took her in. Mia stared, baby. Her mother looked away. Her father sighed, you. You were the baby. Her blood turned to ice. The dreams weren't dreams. The murdered girl wasn't just anyone, she was her family. Over the next few days, the town began to change. Animals went missing. The woods filled with strange sounds. People whispered of seeing a girl standing near the edge of the trees at night. Then came the storm. The rain fell in sheets. The power went out. Mia sat in her room, flashlight flickering. Then, from downstairs, a creak. Footsteps. She crept down the hallway, gripping the kitchen knife. The living room was empty, but the front door stood open. Wind howled through the trees. She stepped outside. At the edge of the yard, in the pouring rain, stood Leela. White dress soaked, face pale as death, she raised a blood-stained hand and pointed. To the woods. Mia followed. Each step felt heavier, like walking through water. The trees closed in around her, the darkness thick and alive. She reached the clearing where Lila's body had been found. She wasn't alone. A man stood there, or what was left of one. Skin sagged off his bones, his eyes glowed with unnatural light. In his hand, he held a bloodied blade. Mia gasped, recognition striking her. Thomas Whitaker. But he was dead, he grinned. You came back. Leela stepped between them. Her form glowing faintly, she turned to Mia. You have to finish it. Mia understood. Somehow, someway, the evil had lingered. A curse, a stain left behind. Thomas's spirit, twisted by hate, had remained, and it was tied to her, to the baby who had survived. Leela screamed, rushing at the spectre. The ghost of Thomas shrieked, the trees shaking around them. Mia fell to her knees, pressing her hands to the ground, whispering words she didn't understand. The wind roared, light burst through the clearing, and then silence. Mia opened her eyes. Leela was gone, the clearing was empty, the air smelled of pine. Not blood. She walked home in the early light of dawn. The dreams stopped after that. But sometimes, just before sleep takes her, she swears she sees Lila's face in the window, smiling, watching, waiting, and protecting.